Yeah. Baby, let me just. Can I just say something?
Yeah, you the one I run to. I can tell that's not you. Feeling yourself, know the feeling not hostile. Always stand by you. Lord, I abide too. When I see your smile, then that ass walk by you. I'm searching for your love. Yeah. I'm fighting for your trust, girl. Yeah. All started when I first saw you. Yeah, I ain't even wanna pull up on you. Yeah. Felt like I might miss my moment, so I had to own it. Girl, you so devoted as I slowly noticed. The smile on your face is the reason I quote this. Only girl I know that can see the omens through the good, through the bad, but you never lose focus, yeah. Head so good, it's like you got 2 degrees. From the angle over here, it's only you and me. They say bad bitches always come in threes. First one bring the hurt that you never see. Second one bring the fun, but a bunch of feasts. Never letting go once they hit year 3. Third one check your pride and the ego leaves. Past mistakes is the reason why you overplay.
What's going on? What's good? Welcome to the welcome to the work show where all we do is talk about work. What's going on? What's going on? This is your boy Trey Tuck. And I'm here with you today with a slew of topics, a bunch of different things that we're going to talk about today. Welcome to episode. I have so many tabs open. This is crazy. All right, there we go. Welcome to episode 23. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get everything together. Welcome to episode 23, where last week there was a bunch of things that happened, and it always seems like as soon as we get off of here, it just seems like 1,000 things happen, and then it's like I have to wait a week to come back and talk about it. So, that's the cool thing about it. But there's been a lot of topics as far as that goes. We'll start with how the week was, and what the week entailed. For me, the week was pretty good. It was successful, to say the least. I think that the summer is flying by. I think it's going a lot faster than I have assumed. And it's just work. So it's like, essentially, it just feels like it's going by even faster. But other than that, everything's been good. I've been checking into myself and what I've had going on, and just being on point with certain things, like going to the gym and trying to eat healthier and be healthier in general. So that's kind of what I've been up to for the week. My weeks don't really pertain or have too much going on with them these days. Just looking at the news and looking up content and just trying to provide the best information for you guys and for the show. So that's kind of what's been going on with me. And as our usual, for those who are listening for the first time, here for a little bit, here for the whole time, we talk about current events and music, sports, entertainment, tech, all those things. So whatever's taking away the news, and what are some things that I think are important and interesting, and we just tackle those topics. So that's what essentially has been going on. And let's get right to it, man. We're gonna start this off with sports, because I noticed something and I want to definitely talk about it. Let's get to it. All right, so let's get into our sports segment. So one thing I noticed, since I've been in the news, it's July, it's July, it's June, it's August. So these summer months are kind of slow for the biggest sports, right? Like the only thing we really have going on is baseball and WNBA, tennis if you're into that, and golf. Those things. So, excuse me. So we don't really have big news, right? And as we talked about last week, we talked about Bob Griffin III, and we talked about how essentially he was just on some coon shit, right? And his comments about Angel Reese and just like, we don't have to rehash the whole episode, but a lot of people spoke out. Shaq spoke out, and he told Robert Griffin III that he'll punch him in his face if he says anything else about Angel Reese. So I'm under the assumption that this shit is over, right? He's not going to be speaking more about it. Shaq was also saying how he is the reason why she hasn't done anything. He's the reason why he told her to chill, and she's been abiding by that, which is why she never said anything. And haven't heard a little Bo Peep from Bobber after that little exchange. But that led me to think about her counterpart in this conversation, which was Caitlin Clark, yo. So I was watching the WNBA game. It was, I think they were playing the Connecticut Sun, right? Shout out to CT, right? Shout out to Connecticut. Been terrible this year, but I think they'll be back at it next year. But just the fact that that is our only professional team. Used to have the Whalers, and they left for Carolina. So the Connecticut Sun kind of hold it down. They've been doing great last few years. But they were Caitlin Clark was playing the Connecticut Sun, and I'm just like, yo, her body language is fucking terrible. Like, all time, like, terrible, right? And I get that because you essentially saved the league, or revive the league with her presence, you're gonna have this cocky, arrogant attitude. But watching her play, watching her argue with the refs, watching her call the refs immature, and watching her do this to grown ass men and women, like, come here, like as a player, it's just kind of like weird. And I was watching the game and I was like, yo, we talk a lot of shit about the media does, not me, but the media talks a lot of shit about Angel Reese and just how she plays the game. And I'm looking at Caitlin Clark, and she's fucking has terrible body language. There was a play where the girl, they came down on a fast break. Girl swung the ball to the left. She was on the right wing, and she was calling for the ball, but the other girl took the ball, made the shot, and didn't pass it to Caitlin Clark. She walked like they're winning. This is on a they're going on a streak because the game was going back and forth. They're going on a hot streak, and she just puts her head down and walks back to the huddle and slaps people. Like, as a teammate, right? Like, because you didn't get the ball does not mean you should be acting like a fucking child. And a lot of times, some of the clips that I saw, I was just like, man, she has terrible body language, yo. And we wouldn't really be talking about this. I mean, we don't talk about it because it's her. But realistically, if you think about her career so far in the WNBA, and just off stats alone, it hasn't been the greatest. Like, she's been hurt. She shoots terrible. She shoots terrible from the field. Look at this stat. Caitlin Clark is now 2-35 for threes on the road this season. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 for 35 for the prodigal child. That is insane, yo. It's terrible. Anybody else, this will be grounds for benching. 2 for 35. Yo, it's terrible. She doesn't play at the level that we thought, and a lot of analysts are chalking it up to the physicality of the game, the league catching up to her, and the fact that they face guard her 24 or however many feet, 100 feet, whatever it is, they face guard her. So she doesn't even have the space to do what she was doing in Iowa. So far, I think her play has been very disappointing, and I'm not 100% sure why that's not being talked about more. I know that she's done a lot, but we're also kind of handling it with like kitty gloves, where as if, we can't say that she's been playing bad this season. She's been injured, she's been in and out, but the grand scheme of it is she's been playing fucking terrible. So I found a couple clips because I wanted to see if there was anybody out there that could find like certain clips or certain games. And, this is somebody on her team, Natasha Howard's sister, blast Caitlin Clark for awful body language. But this is her teammate's sister. You know what I'm saying? Like,
this play right here has drawn the ire of a lot of fans and a lot of naysayers. They think Caitlin Clark is being selfish. They think she's being poor teammate. She shoots.
So, right. So this is, as for those people that are listening, she comes off of a screen, right? And they double team her on a screen.
Caitlin Clark is being selfish. They think
They double team her on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. This girl is going to be wide open because she's rolling. She has to pick her up. So any point guard that is doing their job is kicking this shot, and she's taking that shot.
She shoots the ball off the back of the rim. It clanks long. Aaliyah Boston grabs the rebound. She's wide open right here for the three. This is the
poor body
when
language.
I talk about Iowa ball. If she was at Iowa, she would have gotten this. She would have gotten that ball back. Okay, with Natasha Cloud trailing, she could have easily pulled up right here. But in WNBA, one thing I've noticed is they don't let her go off. They don't understand, and it's the coaching too. I think the coaches are afraid to just tell the players, look, man, we're looking for Caitlin. I know Christy Sides was definitely afraid of doing that. She wanted Christy Wallace and Erica Wheeler to get touches and take shots, and she wanted.
All right, man.
Okay.
I was looking for something that was a little bit more gonna show the clips, but let's see.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what you get. Ball don't lie. But what this guy says right here, he says, "You ain't never hooped before. If you're on fire, you."
Nah, I think
your teammates to feed you, especially at the progeny and all that stuff.
So he's not giving me what I was looking for, but I think if you've ever played basketball and you played at a high level, you understand that when someone's hot. But she's not. She shoots 2 for 35 on the road. Her field goal percentage is low. She turns the ball over, right? Not to say that she can't get better or clean it up or essentially, improve, but she has to learn how to be a better teammate as far as her body language and encouraging her team, because she doesn't do it. And it kind of sucks because you kind of get to see it and nobody's really saying anything about it. Also, she's hurt again. She's resting. The WNBA All-Star game was in the name of Caitlin Clark. It's in Indiana. And it's like she's not playing. She's not doing a 3-point contest. She's not participating. Last year, she didn't do a 3-point contest, and she didn't want to do it for the NBA. So it's kind of like this, for an All-Star game to be in Indiana, the hype was around her playing in one finally. And now that she is hurt, I'm sure the ratings are going to hurt. I'm sure there's going to be players in there, and it's going to be good games. I'm definitely not going to watch it just because I wasn't going to watch it if she was playing or if she wasn't, because I think All-Star games are just kind of they don't have that same allure that they used to have when people were playing for something. So I kind of just don't watch it. But if you're into that type of stuff, if you're a kid who's a young girl or a young boy who's interested in the WNBA and you want to see more of it, this is where you would get the best product the best advertisement to draw in more fans. So for her to not be a part of it, and it's in Indiana, it's very disappointing. But also, just the fact of how she treats her teammates and things of that nature is also very disappointing. And I hate to see it because she is very talented, but I think we have to be a little bit more critical of her. And also, like, the way she was speaking to the refs during the game, kind of going back to that, they weren't teeing her up. They like, fam, she's not going to be able to continue to do that. And her body language reminds me of Draymond Green. And I'm a Warriors fan, and it pisses me off sometimes when you see Draymond Green go and get technicals, right? But he's built up his cachet doing that. And also, he's won championships. So regardless of how you feel about him, he has won, right? So because he's won, he has a little bit more breathing room. Caitlin Clark is not an all-star. She's not a star. She's not a superstar in the WNBA. She's a great player, but she has not accomplished anything as far as championships, things of that nature. They won the WNBA, the Commissioner's Cup. But, I mean, it's not a championship. So they have a really good team over there, and I think that, if I'm a coach, I'm not going to keep allowing her to do whatever she wants in the name of just she's Caitlin Clark, because she still has things to prove that she hasn't done yet, right? So outside of that, we're going to get to our next sports topic. The ESPYs happened, and I don't really watch the ESPYs, but the internet was buzzing with Shane Gillis and just who he just some of the comments and some of the jokes he was making. I know a lot of people were upset. I know a lot of people probably did not like some of the things he said, and rightfully so. I get it, because some of the humor was in bad taste. I thought some of it was funny from what I saw, and it looked like the crowd was a little bit more tense to some of the information. I mean, some of the jokes he was telling, but at the end of the day, he's a comedian, and none of it was meant to be offensive or anything of that nature. But let's pull up a couple
Joe
clips.
Rogan actually wanted me to be here to host this award show so that I could capture Adam Silver, because Joe thinks he's an alien. And Donald Trump wanted me to be here to capture Juan Soto for the same reason. It's an alien joke. What are you boot up there, dude? Shut up.
That's funny. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny.
The New York Knicks had a great season. Yeah, hell yeah. Karl Anthony Towns is here. Hey, girl.
Oh, man.
Four-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks is here. Give it up for
This one was funny, man. So he made a WNBA joke. So he had a bunch of different jokes about the WNBA, about Shedeur Sanders, Caitlin Clark, a whole variety of just nobody was safe. And he made a joke about the WNBA, which kind of goes to a deeper point. He said that, make some noise for four-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks, and everyone claps, and then he's like, nah, that was just my friend's wife. I knew you guys knew nothing about the WNBA. And it's very true. It's rooted in truth. Some of these jokes. So they're not terrible, but, we're at a different time, and, just watch how he sets this up, though. It's pretty funny. And and I do enjoy that. Some of the time he was like, I didn't write this joke, but he has to say it. I didn't write this joke. This was not me. Because obviously, for those who don't know, there's a plethora of different comedians that come up with jokes. Sometimes the host is included in that, and they just write jokes and they have to read them.
four-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks is here. Give it up for Brittany, everybody. I'm joking around. That's my friend's wife. I knew none of you knew WNBA players. Shedeur Sanders had his jersey number retired at Colorado this year, and people are saying it's because of nepotism, because of his father, and it's not. It's because he went 13-12 over his career, and he almost won the Alamo Bowl. Definitely not nepotism, right? All right. It's a big year for the WNBA. I love Caitlin Clark. Yeah, hell yeah. Caitlin Clark, she and I have a lot in common. We're both whites from the Midwest who have nailed a bunch of threes.
That's funny.
There you go. Lighten up a little.
That's funny.
This is not serious. We'll see about this one.
Here it goes. This is the controversial one.
When Caitlin Clark retires from the WNBA, she's going to work at a Waffle House so she can continue doing what she loves most, fist fighting black women.
Yo, I can only imagine being there and kind of hearing some of these jokes in real time, and just seeing how that pans out.
Pitcher, hitter, and bookie. A bookie is what Bill Belichick reads to his girlfriend before bedtime.
Yo, you have to admit that some of this stuff is funny. Regardless of how you stand or where you stand with it, jokes are meant to be jokes. I don't think they're meant to be personal. So it's kind of like just lighten up. You don't have to be so tense with everything. Not everything is meant to be taken personal.
And bookie.
This is funny though. This one's
funny. Bookie is what Bill Belichick reads to his girlfriend before bedtime. They do. They read The Very Horny Caterpillar. The Little Engine That Could But Needed a Pill First. And of course, the classic Goodnight Boobs. That's my favorite one. Also, I'm not trashing Bill Belichick. First off, he's 73 years old and he's dating a hot 24-year-old and people are criticizing him? What happened to this country? It used to be a great country. He won 6 Super Bowls. Yeah. He's dating a hot 24-year-old. Maybe if you guys won 6 Super Bowls, you wouldn't be sitting next to a fat, ugly dog wife. They let me do it. I don't. This is Disney. They allowed that. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a story. I was at we should have taken that out. I had doubts going into that. That didn't work all week.
Shane Gillis is funny, man. He's one of those comedians where it has to be your cup of tea if you like sarcasm and you don't take the world so serious. I think he's one of those people that you really can enjoy. So shout out to him for being able to do the ESPYs, and to be able to do the ESPYs, it's an honor. It's an honor. It's an honor in itself. I think a lot of times people get their exposure from doing these big shows, and Shane Gillis has been very hot for a long time. Like, he's been on fire, and shout out to him. Some of those jokes are pretty funny. I think people have to lighten up. And there was a couple ESPY winners, but I mean the jokes kind of stole the show. And lastly, in sports news, man, so last week I talked about the Amanda Serrano fight and how I thought it was terrible. How I thought that Amanda Serrano essentially sold and she didn't do what she was supposed to do to secure, that Netflix bag, and she didn't do what she was supposed to do to secure the win. And they had Layla Ali doing the commentary, and Jake Paul, I believe he was putting together the fight. So he had a post-game interview where he asked her, what would it take? You're a legend, Layla Ali. What would it take for you to be able to come back and fight? And for those who don't remember, Layla Ali was very prominent, but it was during a time where female boxing wasn't really like, she was carrying the sport because it wasn't, female sports in general during that time weren't really as big or popular as they are now. And I think now with a different eye, a different money, different publicity, I think, some of these women that paved the way, for example, the WNBA with Candace Parker and some of the other players, I think they would have saw tremendous growth for what has happened now. But Clarissa Shields is one of those people, and she said that it would take about 15 to 20 million for her to come back and fight. I mean, I'm sorry, Layla Ali said it would take her about 15, 20 million to come back to fight. So Clarissa Shields, you know, she saw what Amanda Serrano got with that Netflix bag, and they capitalized. So this was her response.
Everybody's talking about it. Or in the boxing circuit.
Oh, hold on. What's this? What's going on?
Clarissa Shields, there's rumors that you're going to come back and fight. Everybody's talking about it. Or in the boxing circuit.
The rumor that I heard was that I said that unless somebody had 15, 20 million, don't even call me about it.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what we like. Layla, I'm here with my team. I got great news for you.
Uh-oh.
We got the 15 million.
Uh-oh.
Let's make a fight between me and you, the best versus the best. The greats versus the greats. The GOAT versus Muhammad Ali's daughter, Layla Ali. Let's make it happen. Mark, what else do we got?
Look, we have the two most prominent venues in this country.
Fire.
Cowboy Stadium, T-Mobile Arena, ready to go. They're extremely interested. We just
I don't know. I had one that had the names of the people, but
have to finalize deals. And
so he's already they already talking about how they got the deal. They already got it in motion. They have Allegiant Stadium, and so Allegiant Stadium is in Vegas, and they have Dallas Stadium.
Ali's
This
daughter,
could be huge.
Layla Ali. Let's make it happen.
I'm tapped
Mark,
in.
what else do we got?
look, we have the two most prominent venues in this country. Cowboy Stadium, T-Mobile Arena, ready to go. They're extremely interested. We just
Look
have
at
to
Pat.
finalize.
Look at Pat. Look at Pat. That boy know how to hit your wagon, don't he?
Go. They're extremely interested. We just have to finalize deals and dates with them. Most importantly, though, Ruben Branson, Win Records, thank you
That boy know how to hit your wagon, boy.
so much for supporting us, because that's what allows us to make this offer.
Thank you very much, Mark. Win Records' assignment was to bring forth $15 million. We have the $15 million for you. Let's make this fight happen.
That's what I'm talking about. So you saying we got the 15 million, we got the venue, and we got the dates. Now all we need is Layla Ali. Is he gonna make this fight happen or what? You asked for the 15 million, and we delivered.
That would be big. That would be big. I don't know how I feel about it, but for those who don't know, we're gonna show a couple clips of just how both these girls get down. Layla Ali's in her like 40s or something though. So I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't know where they would host this. It might be on Netflix, or I would hope it's on Netflix. I think Netflix has done a great job. Let me say this. I think Netflix has done a great job with stepping into the live space. So last year they did the NFL games on Christmas, and you know, I thought that went well. Also, they did the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. That did not go well, but I do think that they're stepping into the space. The server was too big. There's too many people, so it was crashing. But I think the more information that they do, the better understanding they get. Plus, I think they're getting live training and live tuning because they're doing the WWE. They have a deal with WWE Raw, so they get to do that every week. And I'm sure there's hundreds of millions of people because that community is so big. So they're fine tuning it. Netflix is going to start making a huge leap into some of this live sports, and of course they'll get their funding back from sponsors and things of that nature. So I'm kind of interested in seeing how this goes. This is Clarissa Shields. You know, to be honest, I've seen her fight before, and she's strong, but I mean, she don't really. I don't know. She ain't really doing shit. Like, she just throwing slugs. She won that fight though. I think she only has 2 knockouts. Oh yeah. Her hands work though. Ooh. Yeah, I would like to see more I would like to see more women getting that opportunity to get that big stage. And the Amanda Serrano fight was dope because she had a huge stage, and she had all women on the card. So I thought that was pretty cool. But Layla Ali was a little different, man. She was different. But again, the opponents might have been a different speed back then. It wasn't the same. And you know, she's 40 now, so it might be a little different. I don't know how this would go, but I'm kind of excited about it, and I would love to see it. So shout out to them. Shout out to Clarissa Shields for getting the money. We all know that's probably the hardest part is getting the funding. So it seems like she got a couple people on board to be able to do that. We're going to go ahead and switch it on over. I think these are pretty interesting. I think you guys are going to enjoy these. So we got a lot of news, and I'm kind of like contemplating if I should be doing all of it, because it will be here all goddamn day, and I don't want to be here all day. But I do think that this is some of the biggest news that we got over the week. So they're saying that Uno. So I came to find out that this was false. This was not true, because Uno made an official statement and they said we are not adding our games to tables, but they're looking to add them into certain venues and things of that nature. But Uno being added as a table game in casinos in Las Vegas, man. Yeah, here's the fact checker. It's not being introduced as a traditional game. It's part of a special promotion, enhancing game nights for social clubs in the Palms Casino. So this was just a marketing ploy. But let's just imagine that Uno was a fucking Vegas game. Oh my god. Oh my god. This meme says it all. Getting skipped 3 times. Getting skipped 3 times while your rent is on the there was I don't know if I don't think I added it. There was one that said when I'm sitting, it said when I it said when I'm sitting across from yellow-eyed Michael Jordan with a +4 in my hand and he don't know it's coming. Like, I think if Uno was added to a table game in Vegas, I think that shit would be worse than spades. I think people would be getting killed. I think there would be fights at the table. And it depends on the rules, right? So a couple months ago, I did like a rules to just see where people are at, and everybody plays the game different, including Uno. Like, including Uno. Uno plays the game like I don't really understand some of the rules that they said are official, and we don't really agree with them. Like how they said you can do +2s on +4s or some shit like that. Uno don't know what they talking about. But if this became an official game, I think a lot of people would be fighting. The crime rate would go up. The death toll will go up. Just because if you've ever played Family Uno or Uno in general, it's just a hostile game. But they came out and said it was fake. So I can really only imagine if Uno did it. I think I definitely would be trying to play, but it also would depend on, you know, it would depend on what the rules are and things of that nature. Because some people play with skips, some people play with you can stack, some people don't play stack, some people play you can do +2s on +4s, +4s on +2s, wild card stops +2s. You got to pick up till you find the card, or you only pick up one card. There's so many goddamn rules that you can't really pin. It'd be hard to pin like an official game where people would all be on the same page with how they play. But if it's in a casino, they'd have no damn choice. New Uno themed game, social clubs coming to casinos across the U.S. According to KSNV, a social club themed around Uno is coming to the Palm Suites Resort in Las Vegas. Luxury suite that's based off the popular Uno game. Its first entry into the launch of Uno social clubs. The goal of the club to start a nationwide campaign that turns casual game nights into full-blown entertainment events. At the Palms Casino Resort, the suite will. I stayed here too. This shit is beautiful. The suite will feature the vibrant card game inspired inspired decor with gaming tables, private dealers. Okay, so it would be like a social club. It wouldn't be like a table game. Here's what they expect from some of the games. Uno Golf. Match cards by colors and numbers, but your cards are laid out as you try to get rid of the high cards. Keep the lower value. I don't know about that. That sounds crazy. Strategically clear columns to eliminate cards, but beware that certain cards, blah, blah, blah. Uno teams. Uno teams. Yeah, this is where we talk about how Uno is out of touch, bro. What does Uno mean in Spanish? One. There cannot be anybody else. There's no teams in fucking Uno. What are they talking about? What is this? I already see how this is gonna go. This the shit that's gonna get people shot. This the shit that's people gonna get shot off this shit. Uno teams. Players still match color, number, and symbols, but instead of every man for himself, they team up in pairs. That's like playing spades, basically. Man, people are gonna be getting fucked up over this shit. Uno, show 'em no mercy. This game has a ton of more cards with a way tougher penalties and new rules. So I could give them props for trying to create something that hasn't been done yet, and I think it is about time for Uno to enter the space of casinos. But man, if you don't get that shit out of here, motherfuckers gonna be killing motherfuckers off this shit, man. Hell no. People are going to be dying off of this shit. People are going to be losing houses and cars. People already have a bad problem with gambling. And then you add a game that is a family-oriented game so anybody might feel like they could play it, and they play it, and they realize it's some other shit. Man, you got to be fucking... As in the great words of Bernie Mac, you niggas is crazy. You niggas is crazy. What do we got next? Your boy, man. Y'all boy, y'all mans. Donald Trizzy. So we talked about the Epstein files. It seems like everything we talked about last week is unfolding itself, right? So last week we talked about how he was telling people that the Epstein files were a hoax. If you're looking for that, you're just calling his supporters all type of shit, man. And motherfuckers was not liking that over the weekend, boy. They was not liking that shit. It started to seem as if he was losing a lot of supporters. A lot of his people that supported him. This clown here, he supports Trump heavy. But listen to some of his support. Man, and it was so bad. It was so bad, guys, that this is the amount of clips I'm about to go through just to kind of get my point across is crazy, right? But it was so bad because they had to try to pull out the sympathy card with bringing out his health. Now he has something going on with his veins and all this shit. And they had the nerve to say, but he has super health. Fam, listen, I get that people can be idiots. I get it. But if somebody has, I don't know what kind of vein issue it was or whatever the case was, whatever they have, there's no way you can have a full bill of health if you're telling me that something is wrong with you. That's just basic knowledge. We all know that. That's as a kid, you know that. Like, if you're sick, you can't go and say, "Hey, I'm sick, but other than me being sick right now, I have a perfect bill of health." No, you don't. You're sick right now. This dude and the people that support him, they just sit there and continue to lie, right? We're going to go through some shit. So this is Nick Fuentes talking about the MAGA shit with Epstein.
Not on board with the Epstein cover-up. Oh, I don't want your support. You're a weakling. Fuck you. Fuck you. You suck. You are fat. You are a joke. Damn. You are stupid. You are not funny. You are not as smart as you think you are. You are, and honestly... And if you watch my show, you know I've been very critical. I've never been this far. This just goes to show this entire thing has been a scam. When we look back on the history of populism in America, we are going to look back on the MAGA movement as the biggest scam in American history. And the liberals were right. The MAGA supporters were had. They were. When we look back in history, we will see Trump as a scam artist who served as a vehicle for this rather than the other way around. We were not the vehicle for Trump. Trump was the vehicle for all of us.
Yeah, man, the people are upset. The people are upset. His boy, Alex Jones.
I'm going to excommunicate you. Well, you're not the Pope, bro.
Bro.
I mean, you're not speaking from the throne ex cathedra. And plus, I'm not Catholic.
I don't know what's so I watched this video. I was like, I think he doing coke, bro. I'm just looking at him allegedly. It looked like he doing coke though. Look at the side of his mouth. Sorry, this is like shit I be paying attention to when I'm
so Catholics. It's just give me a break. Anyone who disagrees, anything I say,
maybe that's a hard assumption. I take that back.
Banished. And I'm not saying Trump land is a cult. The Democrats are the cult of hating reason and logic and common sense. But
he tweeted that
when Trump starts behaving like that, it starts getting into cult territory. And I bet, since I talked in the first hour and said I'm not in this cult, if that's what it's turning into, I bet there's already news articles about it. But I went on to say Trump is not a cult yet, but behavior like this starts going down that road. But I guarantee if it's not out now, it'll be out in the next hour.
Well, I'd take my
and it'll be Jones says he's left the Trump cult. Nope, never was in the cult. Not saying it's a cult, but this is starting to become cult-like language.
Cult-like language. I mean, it's only like everyone who didn't vote for him told y'all motherfuckers that. But hey, I digress. This is so the highlight of the week with our former chief and president was when he said that his uncle taught Ted Kaczynski the Unabomber, and because he had an AI conference and he was talking about how it's such a great AI is a great investment, and then he went on a tangent talking about his uncle. My uncle was the longest tenured MIT professor, and do you know who he taught? He taught Ted Kaczynski. Ted Kaczynski, for those who don't know, was the Unabomber. But the information, of course, was fake as fuck. Like, just made the fuck up. I ain't gonna say it.
Donald Trump. He was at a conference in Pennsylvania.
Also, rest in peace to The Daily Show. They're canceling The Daily Show. And I wonder why. But look, we're already on a tangent. And you know who does shit like this? You know who does shit like this? Old people. I'm sorry. Oh, your grandfather, if he's not that sharp, like just older people just go on tangents about shit that don't even fucking make sense. And that's okay. We love them. But do I want them running the country? Maybe not. Nuclear, chemical, and math. This is the person running the country. I hope everybody knows out there that you can't get a degree in nuclear, chemical, or math. That's not what it's called. Maybe I would like for everybody to imagine for a second how exhausting it would be to work for this man. I would like everyone to imagine how exhausting it would be to have to consistently lie to cover up lies of lies. Like, it's so much bullshit. But listen to this. Let's finish this. Yeah, it's just so weird. So, CNN, of course, did a fact checker. Pretty much all the same information that our gentleman there was explaining to us. But listen to his chief of staff, right? Because now you have to answer these questions. So let's put yourselves in her shoes, right? And she's a POS, but whatever. You have to figure out how to lie about this. So, if I was the chief of staff, this is what I would say. And I don't know a lot about politics. Like I said, we're here learning together. We're all learning in real time. But this is what I would do. Hey, Trump made some comments about the Unabomber, but the Unabomber was not a thing until Trump's uncle passed. So how did he have this conversation? You know what I would say? No comment. Next question. Yes, you. All right. That's what I would say. But I don't know. I don't work for the government, so it's a little different for me. But this kind of ties into my point of I'm not a fan of people playing in my face. I actually had this conversation today. I'm not a fan of people playing in my face. It's one thing to not know. It's one thing to essentially be corrected. But stop playing in my face. Listen to this lady. And she expects us all to just believe this shit. Listen to this.
Andrew, go ahead.
And look, they Fox News, man, there's so much shit going on. It's just crazy. Listen.
Andrew, go ahead.
So on Tuesday, the president told a very detailed story about his uncle, noted scientist John Trump, and Theodore Kaczynski, the late Unabomber. He said that Dr. Trump taught Ted Kaczynski. Ted Kaczynski was not identified as the Unabomber until 1996, 11 years after John Trump passed away. It would have been impossible for John Trump to have ever discussed the Unabomber with the president. So what was he talking about? And I have one follow-up.
No comment, John. Thank you for that. No comment. I think we have other pressing matters, things that are a little bit more important to what's going on right now. So no comment on that. Then I'll go to the next question. But let's listen to her.
Andrew, with so many issues going on in the world, I'm a little bit surprised you would ask such a question.
Uh-oh, she gave a little bit of what I was saying. Maybe she's going to follow my lead.
Although I'm not sometimes coming from you, I will say, but I'm willing to give you an answer. Nevertheless, the president's uncle did, in fact, teach at MIT. He was a very intelligent professor. The president's very proud of his family. In fact, the president has a letter from his uncle on the MIT letterhead that sits in the Oval Office dining room. Maybe we'll let you see it sometime.
What the fuck does that have to do with the price of tea in China? What is she talking about? She didn't answer nothing. We know that he was a professor at MIT. What was the president talking about? And you know the part that I don't like about these press conferences is that when the person says some shit like that, you don't get a follow-up. Because if you're going to let me ask a question and you don't answer my question, I should be able to say, hold on, but we knew he was a professor at MIT. I didn't ask you that. I asked you the second half that you ignored.
In fact, teach at MIT. He was a very intelligent professor. The president's very proud.
We didn't ask you that. Let me go back to what he asked. I'm sorry.
Ted Kaczynski was not identified as the Unabomber until 1996, 11 years after John Trump passed away. It would have been impossible for John Trump to have ever discussed the Unabomber with the president. So what was he talking about? And I have one follow-up.
Teach at MIT. He was a very intelligent professor. The president's very proud of his family. In fact, I have a...
Listen, man. Ladies and gents, we're only 7 months into this shit show. Grab you a motherfucking... grab your best popcorn, grab your best candy, because we are in for a treat these next 3 years. Man, oh fucking man. This shit is terrible. Listen to these Trumpers, man.
I feel really, really angry. We have a president who tells us to move on from Epstein because...
This nigga's crying on the phone, yo. Yo. That boy runs a cult. That boy runs a cult, dog. He runs a cult, yo. I'm sorry to say it this way, but he runs a cult. Listen to this dude crying. What the fuck are you crying about? I feel really betrayed,
and I feel really, really angry. We have a president who tells us to move on from Epstein because it doesn't matter. Are you guys still talking about this? Seriously? And yet he still talks about the 2020 election fraud. He talks about the Hunter Biden laptop. He talks about all this stuff from 5-6 years ago, and he tells us to move on from the Epstein trial or the Epstein case. People like me will not stop talking about this. I feel so betrayed and so angry. This is not what I voted for.
I'm concerned about being able to trust Donald Trump to keep his word. In his campaign, he said he was going to let us know all of the facts about this. And now he's saying, go away, don't pay attention to it.
These Epstein files, we were told that there was going to be released. There was this client list that was going to be released. And the fact that it's suddenly gone away and he's trying to gaslight us is like a punch in the gut to MAGA.
Make America great again. You know how you make America great again? You keep lying like you're doing. That will make America great. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Yeah, I don't even feel bad for the people either. Y'all voted for this. I didn't, so I get to just sit back and laugh. And you know, I'm not in I'm not in politics, so the best thing I could do is pay attention to the people for our midterms and know what's going on in my local government. But this is bad, very, very bad. August 1st, tariffs dropping again. They still trying to find someone to sell TikTok to, and China. Like, it's just a bunch of chaos and confusion. But to conquer a society, you essentially want to cause chaos and confusion. So, you know, you can appear as the only one who has the answer to solve those questions from the problems that you created. It's really a psychological thing. If I cause all these problems and make you feel like somebody else is doing it, and then I come in with a solution, it makes me look like a savior, but in reality, I'm just solving the problems that I created. You know? Very sad that we still are in this part of this chapter of America. But hey, man, grab some popcorn, grab your favorite candy. It's going down, whether it's good or bad, whatever side of history you want to be on. Doesn't really matter at this point because the shit is in motion. So very sad. And to end it with a brighter tone, saw Superman the other day. Saw Superman. So James Gunn's Superman opens up with 217 million sold worldwide, and the budget was 225 million. What that tells you is that they're going to cake the fuck up off of this Superman movie, and the adoption rate is up with dogs because of crypto. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody else. I don't want to spoil it to anybody else, so I don't want to go too much in it. I'm just gonna give you what I wrote for my notes. I wrote so here's my notes from the Superman movie. And I hope, before I give you my notes, actually, let me go back. Let's read this article. All right, so Superman is facing an uphill battle, perhaps to an unfair degree. Filmmaker James Gunn and co-CEO of the newly formed DC Studios has placed the extreme burden of launching the new DC universe on his shoulders. So this is essentially the cornerstone of the new DC universe. Serving as a sole writer, so he wrote on the Guardians of the Galaxy and Suicide Squad. However, for Gunn's sake, Superman needs to be a smash hit, or else his gods and monsters DCU slate might not make it far under Zaslav. He built a reputation of shelving shit like Batgirls, Coyote versus. This would have been fire. All right. Supersized expectations. The DCU is now in full swing. For those who don't know, Supergirl is gonna be released as well. All right, man. I'm not gonna keep reading this shit. I'm not gonna spoil it for y'all. I thought Superman was good. I would have gave it a 7 out of 10. My notes are as follows for Superman. They made Superman a little bit more pussy. Bald-headed Lex Luthor, not super believable. Love the colors of the suit. Fucked with the Mr. Terrific pick. How do motherfuckers know Superman from Clark Kent? How do motherfuckers not know Superman from Clark Kent? Is it only niggas? So that's kind of the that's really the one part that I wanna I saw like a theory online that, you know, the black characters who are in these superhero movies, like the people that are like side characters, essentially they know the fucking, you know, who the superhero is. They just don't say nothing. Kind of shows that in this movie with I forgot his name, but he's in Suits. He's really good, brother. I like his acting style. And it just seems like he kind of knew the whole time, like, okay, like, how are you getting these interviews with Superman? Like, and everyone's like, oh, you're just great interview. Like, I think they just see through that shit. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Really good movie. Like I said, I don't want to go through it, but I noticed something on the second hand. I thought it was LexCorp, not Luthor Corp. So I'm unsure about that, but there's gonna be a Supergirl movie, and there's gonna be a couple spinoffs based off that. So, excuse me, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the Batman 2 to release whenever it drops. I think the DCU is looking good, man. Marvel has some competition over there, and we're gonna see how that pans out. We are gonna see how that pans out. All right. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? All right, so we'll touch lightly on this, but we have the Joyner Lucas beef with Skepta. Damn. Sorry, y'all. Hold on 1 second. So, I'm sorry. There we go. So, Skepta recorded a record called Friendly Fire because Joyner Lucas called him out and said he would accept the challenge. So, we're going to give you a taste of that.
Come on, babe. They're clowning your act.
I'm not even going to act like I want to keep listening to that shit. That shit was garbage. So, here's my new drop. Here's my new garbage drop.
Everything ain't gotta be for everybody, yo. That is garbage.
So Joyner Lucas responded. I'm gonna give you a little taste of that.
Ain't gotta be for everybody, yo. That is garbage.
That wasn't it, Joyner. That wasn't it. I think when niggas think about beef, you gotta go at somebody, all this and like that shit is whack, bro. When we start talking about rap beef, that shit is whack. Nigga, you gotta rap, bro. So, right? Skepta came back. Now I cannot lie to y'all. I'm not one for the man them raps. That's not my style of music. I don't really like it. But when I heard this shit, I said, oh, okay. Okay. I can see it. I can see how people fuck with this shit. I can see how people respect this type of music. And I can see how someone like Drake would say the bullshit he said. Might not believe it, but I can see how someone could say it. So Skepta returned round 2, and he went at him. I'm gonna play this one a little bit more.
In 2 minds, man, my word killed you with fate. Not everybody.
So the only issue I have with this shit, bro, is that at some point in time, this nigga just, like, the first half of the song, he was on the fucking beat. And then at some point in time, he just forgot how to rap. Woo! You only make hits rapping from another guy's perspective. Oh my God. Oh man, he gone. Over. Round 3, if there is a round 3. Here we go though. This is when niggas don't know when to stop. Shout out to Skepta though. Regardless of how the second half of the song went, I respect him for stepping out to the plate, saying he wanted to beef, jumping into beef, and following through. And these niggas are going back and forth. This is all within a week span, so they're not giving time to giving too much time in between to get this shit off. Joyner Lucas he is putting out an album, ADHD 2. So I don't know if he's gonna go back and forth. I don't know why he would do that if he knows that he has to do his media shit, but I hope that we get a response, because if we don't get a response, Skepta wins this. Skepta wins this battle off of that second track alone. That second track, he was really going, and I felt more in that than I did in the first 2 songs. So as I was perusing through the internet, and I was trying to figure out, more information about this UK rap and shit like that, just to get an idea, because I'm from here and I don't know I know Skepta's music. I don't know how impactful he is. So people like Giggs, have kind of chimed into the UK versus the US debate that Drake started, Hip Hop Trump, and he had a lot to say. He had a whole 6 minutes, but he was basically breaking down the difference between UK rap and grime, and how grime doesn't make you a UK rapper MC, and a UK rapper MC doesn't make you a grime MC. Like, there's basically categories. Like in America, how we have drill rappers, we have conscious rappers, essentially is what he was breaking down. And he was like, to all the UK rappers or grime artists that are stepping up in the name of UK rap, stop doing that, because you're making us look bad. And it kind of gave me perspective on how niggas feel about it. And, Drake tried to throw a smoke bomb on niggas, but Giggs had a point in there where he was saying how, where he grew up on, and his respect for the artists that come from America, and how basically American artists paved the way for them to be able to do what they do.
With your big voices and knowing that people don't know the difference, you're blurring the lines. You know them ones that, you know what I'm saying? You're not making any sense here.
I need to get down. If somebody out there could tell me why, when UK niggas speak, instead of it's man, it's mans. It's man. Is that, I don't know what that is. Man don't walk, man don't talk, man don't chat, man don't rap, man don't talk about, like, it's just man. It's not it's like, I don't walk, we don't. It's different. I would like to know where that stemmed from. So if you're out there and you're from the UK, let me know. So let's get back to it.
Me, I make hip-hop rap music. I work with rappers. I've rapped with American rappers. Real rappers. Jada Kiss, I don't know, Graph, Slick Rick. You know them ones? These man, like, obviously, like, you got Skep, he's done the ASAP Rocky song. But them man ain't making rap songs, bro. They're not, like, rapping on fucking, like, real hip-hop boom bap or anything like that. They don't know how to do that. Well, they probably do know how to do that, but they don't. Rap's not easy. It's not easy to switch from grime to rap, let me tell you. And some people who rap can't do grime. You get me? Then you've got Dave and Central C and all that, yeah? These man are descendants of grime and rap. So these man can do both. That's why you'll hear them in the middle on the kind of double time 120, 130 BPM kind of beats. You get me? These man do both. They're ambidextrous, wherever they.
Yeah, it's a whole 6 minute clip. I'm not gonna break it down, but I liked hearing his perspective, and it kind of put me. I know last week I was saying how, them niggas can't really fuck with us over here, but just to hear the respect level is there, made it kind of feel a little bit better for me because it's making sense now. How they view hip hop over there and the genres that they have. So shout out to Gig, shout out to Skepta for jumping out the window. Shout out to Joyner Lucas. I think that at the summer, before I end our little music segment, I think the summer has not had a song yet, and that's very weird. There's no like sound of the summer. There's no song of the summer. Pop too. Like I can't really think of a song where I'm like, oh shit, that reminds me of what it's supposed to feel like outside. So a lot of shit going on. A lot of restructuring, a lot of just music isn't the same. It's not what it once was, and you know, I think that's something to kind of make note. But there's certain cultures and certain places that take this shit a lot more serious than we do here. So the whole UK shit happening right now and people wanting their respect, I think it just pays homage to how important hip hop music is to culture. Fuck America, but just culture in general. And hip hop culture is not just music. It's breaking, it's MCing, it's graffiti, it's street art, street knowledge, street entrepreneurialism. It's a lot of those things. So I think to know that is very important. So yeah. Beanie Siegel's using AI to get his old voice back. I know that was a topic not that I brought up, but it's been over the internet.
Since a young and all I ever been was silent. I rose from the dirt without a stain on my collar. Been getting cash money since baby was pushing prime. Fake friends like full court, they changed for $1. Only roll with young demons with my bloodline. All I gotta say is eating you a plate and it's drop time.
Only problem I have with this is that it don't have that. It sounds too clean. Like Beanie don't have like.
Yeah, listen to me, family. I'm connected to the street, and all the youngest understand.
If I'm being honest with y'all, I don't know how many people know Beans, and I know it puts a strain on his voice, but I would like to hear this vocal tone.
Frown on AI, but I think that's going to work out for me. Yeah, I had a colorful life, so I've been through things that hindered my.
So you finna say the AI got you sounding like Beans back then? That's what you saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Real soon too.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
The AI finna.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. This is
Right back, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure how I feel about Beans. I mean, he could do whatever the fuck he wants. It's his voice. I mean, it's not like he's using somebody else's voice for AI, so shout out to him. But I don't know, man. Life is about growth and transgression. So it's just kind of weird when people want to go back to what used to be, but you know, his vocals now, maybe his voice can't take it, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It sounds too clean. When you use AI, it sounds the little imperfections that are in human don't exist in AI. So, to each his own. To each his own. All right, so we're at the end of the show. I'm trying to see if I have a question. Let me check if I have a question. I don't think I do. Thought I wrote one down. I didn't. In bonus news, Nicki Minaj is shooting at everybody. She's shooting at SZA. She's shooting at Jay-Z. She's shooting at Roc Nation. Now she's shooting at Punch from TDE, Mac Wop from TDE. Now she says she's gonna get the courts involved, the FBI, CIA, saying that people threatened her. Nicki is on a complete feels like a spiral. And it's very sad to see when you see your favorite artist. She's not my favorite artist doing it, but very sad to see that happen with some of our favorite artists. I gotta find the clip. I don't know if I have it anymore, but it was this dude. He made a very valid point. He was tearing her up too. Let me see if I can find it. Shit. It was basically I'll leave y'all with this. The guy was saying, damn, it's like one of those things where like you're scrolling and it's on your phone and you just never. Oh, is this real? Uh-oh. Let me see this. Hold on. Shazam. Film. This gotta be fake then. Alright. Fucking the guy was saying that when was the last time Nicki Minaj had a real impactful song? One that wasn't like sample driven. Everybody, like, when was the last time she had a real impactful song? And it made me really think about it. And I don't fucking know. She's been a little bit, I don't want to say irrelevant, but music-wise, she hasn't really done anything in the past 5 to 10 years. Maybe not 10 years, but at least 5 years, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, she hasn't really had anything that was impactful. You know what I'm saying? So who the fuck knows? That was kind of the sentiment of the message, and I thought it was kind of interesting. But with that being said, I don't have a question of the day today on the work line. I don't have anything on the work line. But if you would like to ask a question next week, please send an email to the work show, THEWERKSHOW@gmail.com. Send in your questions, and we'll definitely talk about it. I'd like to say thank you to everyone who tuned in today. And we were going to continue rocking episode 23. And I will see you guys next week. So peace out. I'm out of here. See you later. I gotta go. Peace.